Do 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 do. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Did you figure it out?
Yeah, hold on. Okay, so I may have to. Let's see if it works though. Edit, trim.
Mm-hmm. Do 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 do. Mm-hmm.
Save. Okay, so let me see if you'll hear something now.
Here's an open file. Yeah. Let's see here. Go back. Home. Which one is it? Is it this one? It's not this one. Is it this one? I don't know why, but it's not working.
No, well, I may have to use a different software then. I used iMovie, and people are saying that it's a known issue. So they say you can edit it, and then once you edit it and trim it, it may bring the sound back. So
It is
let's
October
see.
6th, and this is the Legacy of Ours.
Can you hear
I am
anything?
your host, Andrew Mendoza, along with my co-hosts, Shannon Nelson and
Nope.
Christian Nieto. You can also
some
follow
bullshit.
us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Legacy.
I wasted so much time doing that shit.
You can also follow me on
Why don't you
Instagram
just
at Andrew
upload it
J.
to another
Mendoza,
software real quick?
Christian at
You should just be able to extract it.
NEAT_.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I do know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if I can fucking figure it out.
Easier. I mean, the show doesn't start for another 6 minutes, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Just yeah. So yep.
Don't give it up yet.
I got a lot of questions I'm gonna be asking you today.
Good, because you know I've been on my deathbed. So Handbrake will re-render it by default. Don't even. God damn, I'm gonna buy some shit that's gonna give me a virus.
Don't get a virus. Not before the show. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what I had. I'm not talking about me. Have you heard of Handbrake?
A what?
Handbrake.
What about it?
Have you heard of it?
Um, depends on what you're talking about.
Oh, it's a software. It
Oh
looks
no.
like it back when iPhone came out for AT&T and people were trying to jailbreak the shit
hmm
and trying to get them on a different, carriers. So I think I had T-Mobile and I was going on all this shit to
You were
like
poor,
what?
so
Back
you were.
when did you have AT&T for your whole life?
No.
So that's what I'm saying, fool. What I'm saying is, no, if you didn't have AT&T, which AT&T at the time, like they weren't just for me anyway, like everyone that I've experienced, they couldn't get AT&T. They just made
hmm
it always hard um, to get service with them. So it's like you had to be on AT&T, obviously, to experience the Apple life.
I
And
thought I thought Apple started on at AT&T.
that's what I'm fucking saying. You ain't listening to me?
No, you're just confusing me. That's what
I
I'm
said
saying.
I said back before when iPhone was on AT&T,
Uh huh.
everybody wanted people were like getting iPhones and then like kind of jailbreaking them. The
hmm
software Handbrake looks like the software that I used to use when it came to like trying to get my iPhone to work on T-Mobile. At the time, it
Right.
wasn't working on T-Mobile. So that's why I'm like, oh, I'm about to get a virus. Do you remember LimeWire? Did you ever work with LimeWire?
Oh yeah, dude. I fucking love LimeWire.
Yeah.
I have the best mixtapes, the
The
best
best
CDs. Baby.
mixtapes.
I meant the CDs.
You been putting out, you trying to rap? Have you ever thought about being a rapper ever?
I was Daddy Yankee before he was Daddy Yankee.
Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here, dude.
What do you mean, dude?
You can get it says open handwrite can do file open source, navigate to the video, choose it, source from do file encoding. Wait a couple minutes.
I was freestyling Gasolina before he even made that song. You know
Oh
what I'm saying?
word. You should
Yeah.
sue his ass.
You know, I don't like taking paper from people's pockets, you know?
You take money from me all the time.
That's not true. That's not true at all. I put money in your pocket.
Wait a couple
Yeah,
minutes.
damn.
Version and save the import. Okay. Clip into iMovie. What the hell?
See, there you go. Keep fucking around.
This is getting a little suspicious. Okay.
A little
File.
suspicious.
Edit. Yeah, I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
You don't know what you're doing? It's no bueno.
All right, save to.
What's wrong?
They're closed.
Oh. It's no bueno. It's no bueno.
Was that your new thing? You're gonna put that on a T-shirt? No bueno.
It's probably a good idea, right?
You could.
God damn. Look at all these viewers is watching us. We're not even doing anything yet.
Who?
What you mean who?
All right, try this shit again.
What'd you say?
Cancel right. See if we can pull this.
Pull what?
We
Oh, the video? You got it?
it's encoding right now, so
Hmm.
we'll see. So it says it's done. Then they say save it. Somebody's like, "You're an idiot, man. It's just right there. It's simple. It's easy. A fucking idiot could do it." Oh, yeah. Export to just do desktop. Save. What?
Nothing, bro. Nothing. Stop yelling at me, all right? I'm gonna need you to just fucking chill out. All right. I don't need you to get upset
What?
right before the live.
What's wrong?
Who?
What in the motherfucking hell is going on? Oh, I get it.
It's a simple fix, ain't it? You're just overthinking this.
I get it. And save and import the converted clip into iMovie.
Mm-mm-mm-mm. I love my family.
Do you? Do you though?
How annoying they are.
Yeah, dude. I don't know what the hell.
So you're gonna freestyle it?
I mean, I guess I can.
You want me to put gasoline on so that way you can just fucking roll?
You know, when that song came out, I was in Jersey, right? And then I moved to St. Louis, and I had no idea that these white people knew what that song was. Like this shit never was on like the billboards. I heard someone playing it at Kirkwood High School, which is like to me when I first moved here, it was like the whitest school I've ever been to, because every other school has been either been black or Hispanic, and they're blasting that song. And I'm like, how the fuck did you hear like this shit?
It's crazy.
So what do you mean do freestyle?
That's on you. You wanted to do the intro, so
I did when
You
it was
did.
going to pan out the way I wanted it.
didn't you have like what's it called? What is that Adobe fucking
Yeah, you
video
know, I
editor?
could have went through there. iMovie was already open, and I just recorded in iMovie.
Why would you
don't know.
record that? Everybody
know.
knows never to record through iMovie.
I didn't know that, so not everybody.
That's some
Not
childish shit right
everybody.
there. That's some newbie shit right there.
All right, well then you're gonna put me as the only screen like we talked about.
That's fine with me if that's what you want to do. You know what I'm saying?
You ready to go or what? Then
I'm ready to go. Are you ready to go?
I really want my clip. I put a lot of time in that clip, but
I can see that.
I ain't gonna keep the people waiting.
You want me to put the clip up and you just fucking lip sync
Valid.
it?
Oh yeah, this is insane.
What?
Just because like even the shit I'm looking at. Okay, first thing, confirm the sound that has not been muted in iMovie.
Ooh, I guarantee you that shit's muted.
Shut up. Let's see.
Bro, I can't hear the sound, so it's gotta be
think?
muted. Yeah.
Say it ain't so.
Is it?
It's naturally muted because I'm using a
I told you.
mic.
I told you it was muted.
Audio. Preferred pass through. It's not giving me shit. But it's funny because I can hear it through myself, so that can't be true. Because I can hear it. So it's obviously getting sound.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, as soon as you start extracting it and stuff, it probably just mutes itself.
Well, shit fire.
Is it muted?
Well, not that.
Oh shit! I almost didn't lamp my candle. Oh, that's not good.
You got candles now? And you getting kinky.
Candles.
On camera?
The
You've been on.
What are you talking about?
You sound
I
like
mean-
you're smiling when you said that.
What?
You're like, what are you talking
You thinking
about?
you thinking about Curtis, aren't you?
Kurt? Oh, Kurt? Big Kurt?
Big Kurt, big old ranger teacher.
Okay, motherfucker, he gonna come straight through your door like the Kool-Aid man.
With the Kool-Aid man. That's all right. He ain't gonna do nothing. What is he gonna do? Fire me? And then hire me?
Did it once before.
And
it's
then I
not
quit
me.
on him.
Fuck it.
You got
There
it?
we go. No, I didn't get it.
Oh my god.
I still
yeah,
got
I'm
this
ready to go.
shit.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Are you ready to go? You ready to go?
Let's just do it. You gonna put me in the
Yeah. Look, this is how big you're gonna be. Bow.
damn, that is perfect. That's what I've been
All
talking
right.
about.
All right, that's what we're gonna do then. You ready?
We good?
We good.
All right.
All
It is
right,
October
count
6th.
down.
This is what we count down?
We're not gonna do the countdown?
I mean, let's do the countdown. Ready?
It's 1 minute.
All right, that gives me time.
All right.
Get my head in the
All right.
game.
1 minute countdown.
What the hell?
What you mean? It's there.
It is October 6th. This is The Legacy of Ours. I am your host, Andrew Mendoza, along with my co-hosts, Shannon Nelson and Christian Nieto. You can follow us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook at legacy_of ours. You can follow me on Instagram at Andrew J. Mendoza, Christian, Mr_Neat, NEAT_O. And Nelson's not a real person, so he doesn't have social media. So good for him. We live stream on YouTube and Twitch every Sunday. So if you stick around and keep in touch with us. On today's episode, we're going to talk about Law 8 from the book, The 48 Laws of Power, baiting. I have what you want. Sounds like a Diddy slogan, doesn't it? We also discuss natural disasters, odd conspiracies about plots in Disney movies, and much, much more. We are live, aren't we?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We're live.
We're live, bro. You know what's crazy?
What?
So today, my wife and I were driving around, right?
Yeah.
Just fucking minding our own business and stuff. And
Mhm.
I found a pet peeve of mine.
What is that?
Highways.
Highways.
I don't know why. Yeah, I think it's
You
just
hate 'em?
because people. I'm starting to hate them because I think
can adopt
it's just
Can't you?
the how slow people drive on highways.
Oh.
Like they follow the speed limit. Well, they follow like 5 miles per hour under the speed limit, and that shit pisses me off.
Now, how fast are you going? Like, what is your like? There's the guys that I work
That's
with,
irrelevant to what my pet peeve is. All
the
right,
dudes that I work
so-
with, it's 80 and up. That's it. That's all they
You-
know.
Okay, so what's funny about that is that, you know, being in the army and I was in the army,
Mhm.
and when we came back, I wasn't expecting how fast people were going on the highway.
Oh,
um,
really?
Yeah, it's completely different whenever you're in Alaska and shit, because there's not
Oh,
really a highway. It's just,
that's right.
I mean, when you're within Fairbanks and stuff, everything's there, and that's it. And then if you want to go somewhere else, you either got to fly or use a helicopter or go through the fucking mountains and shit, right?
hmm
But other than that, you're not gonna really drive there.
Yeah.
So when we came back and it was fucking riding in the freeway and shit. Bro, everybody's doing 85, and I'm like, I'm in the slow lane. Like, dude, I am so scared right now.
Now look at you, fucking
Now look at
running
me
people off the road. God damn it!
doing
Especially
100
with your big
plus.
ass GMC fucking truck. Did you know that it's becoming a problem with like people getting shot for road rage? Like that's a big thing now. Like
I
multiple
believe it.
people are being shot because they get in a confrontation and start running their mouth, and someone pulls a gun out and just sends shots through somebody's door.
I believe
It's
it.
crazy.
I believe it. Now, is that just here in St. Louis, or is that everywhere?
That's been here in St. Louis. I mean, from what I've heard, I'm sure it's everywhere, but
Yeah.
it's been kind of a big thing. You know, I actually used to drive like a grandpa because I've been in like enough accidents where I'm like cautious.
Right.
As soon as I start going, like now I'm a habitual speeder. As soon as we got one of those State Farm, you save money on your insurance if you have one of those little speed detector things about like, oh, you're
Oh,
driving
the
at a
thing
good
that like
speed.
plugs into your car?
Yeah, well, some plug into the car and then some just sit on the dash and it gets a
Mhm.
reading like how like just how good your driving is. Like,
Mhm.
do you slam on your brakes? Like how fast you going?
Mhm.
And Maddie was like, yeah, when did you start going 80, 85? And I was like, she's like, you've never hit 90 before until we got this damn thing. You're gonna make our insurance shit go up. So the whole point of it is to be a good driver. And now I just want to get to where I need to go.
Right. Right.
You know what
No,
I mean?
that's how I am. I'm tired of just driving around. The only time I actually just want to drive around and stuff is like in the morning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everything's
Yeah.
all relaxed. Everything's fucking chill. Everybody's minding their business. There's not really much people in the road.
So that's why I used to go to a gym by my work. And so I had
Mhm.
2 gym memberships. And this gym, what is it called? How the hell am I forgetting? The Edge. Okay. It's kind of
Mhm.
like Club Fitness here. But anyways, it's relatively newer gyms coming up. But the gym I went to was not 24 hours. And so I had to be at the gym at the Edge by like 3:30, 4 o'clock. So that means I'm
Mhm.
leaving my house because that's like a 35-minute drive. So I'm leaving my house at 2 in the morning. And the best thing is it's like going there, there's nobody on the roads. You could just like coast. And that's why I think even I'm a morning person
Mhm.
and it's just the best. Even have you ever been to a grocery store when it's like early in the morning, there's like nobody there, you feel like you own the place? That's
No, I can't
that's
say
how
I have.
really? Not
Yeah.
like ever, like at like 4 in the morning,
No.
5 in the morning?
No, I didn't even know stores were open that early.
Yeah, after COVID, dude. You know, Walmarts aren't 24 hours anymore, I don't think.
No, they're not,
Walmart,
dude.
yeah, they changed.
But that's the thing. But to me, they seem like they're still open like late because in Alaska everything closes at 8.
Oh, really?
Everything closes at 8, and it's
Really?
fucking annoying. And then everything opens up at like 9 o'clock.
When I lived in New Jersey, I think it was the first place where like not that I was drinking at that time, that
Sure.
you couldn't get alcohol. Was it on
Mhm.
Sundays? And like at
Mhm.
a certain time, like
Yeah.
there's no sales. And I was
Yep.
like, oh, okay, whatever. And you know, here's a hell of a lot different. You
Yeah.
know, were you
Yeah.
one of those Walmart kids? You know, there's like those group of friends that would just fuck up Walmart.
Terrorize Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was one of those people. We used to play football, tag. Yeah, it was a thing, dude. It was a
Fucking
thing.
crazy. One time I was on one of those bikes, and this was not here, and it wasn't a Walmart, it was like some other place.
Mhm.
And you know, I was a husky guy, right? And me and my friend, he was also a husky motherfucker too. Those bikes that have like the little where dudes used to be able to like just ride on the bike. It's like those little
Oh, like the pegs?
yeah. So me and this motherfucker were at not it was in Walmart, but we were at this place where they sold bikes.
Mhm.
And he's like, "Man, just get on the pegs." And we did. Me and him was so fucking big that we blew the tires.
How the fuck do you blow a tire?
Dude, the tires were pow, too much weight, bro. And we had to leave. So yeah, they ate that cost.
Wait, how small was the bike?
Fuck, I don't know. It looked like one of those BMX bikes.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
for like a
And so
toddler?
maybe. Fuck, who knows? It probably was actually. I don't know better.
That's
Dude,
funny.
you know what I'm drinking on today? I told you
What's that?
started the winter arc.
Yeah.
lemon tea and honey. I've been sick as a motherfucking dog. I have been
Lemon tea and
dying.
honey.
Yeah.
So the
Lemon
honey, I'm assuming, is just for your throat and stuff.
Yeah, it's supposed to soothe my stomach. Dude, I've been throwing up since Sunday of last week.
Why? What'd you
And
do? What'd you put in your mouth?
Popeye's chicken. Popeye's
Oh,
chicken. Yeah,
that's
that's exactly what the fuck I did. And I'm one that I learned my lesson once and then I'll never eat there again. And
yeah.
so, dude, I've been fucked up. Can't keep water down. Like we talked off air. Couldn't keep
Right.
water down. I had like maybe 2 meals in total
Mm-hmm.
for 7 days. And so I can't really go to the gym because I'm too fucking weak. Like today, so Friday, we had the kids over, and Maddie ended up going picking them up, and I just came straight home after work. Me and you talked that, you call me, talk
Yeah.
about that I ain't shit as a friend and I don't ever invite you to do shit. Remember that?
Yeah.
As you verbally bashed me while I was in distress. So that fucking day, I ended up going home.
I gotta keep you humble. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want you to feel like
Dude,
you're on top of the world.
I went home and I fucking threw up I felt like fucking trash. It's like if there was, I would have never mind. I ain't gonna say that, but I would have preferred death. That's how bad it was.
So
And
were
then,
you the only one that ate the Popeyes?
yeah, of course.
Uh,
Of course, man. He's like, hey, you want Popeyes? And something told me, like, don't. I was like, nah, you don't
Don't
really,
do it.
I don't really eat out.
Not from St. Louis.
And something told me, and she actually, when she pulled into the lot, she didn't get in the line. So I'm like, Maddie, you're not even in line. And I was like, man, forget it. Like, let's just go home. And she's like, no, I'll get in line. Gets in line. And it was history from there. So Friday night, completely threw up. And it was nothing. It was literally nothing. So it was like the worst. It was the dry heaves and all that nonsense. Saturday felt relatively fine. I was like, okay, cool. And then, yes, it was my dumbass fault. I ended up eating, like, as soon as I got the cravings
More
back,
Popeyes.
went right back to Popeye. Yeah, shot myself in the foot again. No, dude, I
Oh, for
had
real?
fuck
Oh.
no. Hell no. I told you I learned once, dude. I'd never go there again. I would never recommend it. They could shut down and I'd be happy. You could put anything in that fucking place besides the Popeyes and I'd be happy. No, dude, Maddie made pigs in a blanket. And
What is
she
that?
also, it's like these sausages wrapped around in like croissant.
So like a
So
hot dog?
kind of, it's like a hot dog wrapped around in a fucking blanket, a
Why
croissant
don't you
blanket.
just
So
say
it's
that?
it's flaky. It's the fucking term, god damn it. So it's called pigs in a blanket.
Right.
She made pigs in a blanket, and then the kids made mac and cheese with Velveeta. Okay.
Mhm.
And Velveeta is very rich. I actually never really ate Velveeta. Like if we did mac and cheese, like my mom, she would shred everything by hand, but it's always going to be sharp cheddar or whatever. I just never used like Velveeta. So they made Velveeta mac and cheese and whatever, and then we did a what the hell is that movie? Inside Out 2, about the emotions and depression
Yeah.
and whatever. So we were doing a movie night. So we were watching Inside Out 2. So Maddie made like these. She took I think it was Fruity Pebbles and marshmallow and made these little marshmallow squares to symbolize like the different colors. So you had red for anger, blue for sad, yada yada yada. And then they made multicolored slushies. Like she goes all out, to make the kids happy.
Right.
And so I ate the pigs in a blanket. And dude, I got the craving back. So my dumbass, like I know I need to be cautious. And so I ate one and ate another one. I ended up eating just 5, right? So that's moderate. That's for me, that's being modest. Well, then I had the mac and cheese and I was good up until 1 a.m. And then it fucking laid into me and I felt like fucking death. But you know what helped me? Sour candy and Powerade. It finally caused me to like kind of
Throw up.
calm my stomach. No, to calm my shit. I was throwing up anyway, dude. I couldn't stop throwing up. I was like, you know what? What's the point of me sitting in bed? Miserable.
Wait. So sour candy and Powerade just helped you.
So it's the acidity in the sour candy that helps ease the stomach.
Right.
So that's what I did. And then I was in bed. And here's the thing. I was so miserable. that I couldn't lay down
Mhm.
because I would feel sick. I couldn't really stand up and walk around. I was like, I better get out and get some sun. So I'm like, it's a nice day. It was like 70 some odd degrees. And I'm like, I'm just gonna mow the lawn. And it showed me how weak I was after not eating. I'm out of breath and shit. But overall, it did kind of make me feel better. And so now I'm on this. So hopefully tomorrow's a better day. So that's been my 7 days of hell.
So you with this, what is it called? Winter arc?
Winter arc. So technically, I'm actually doing pretty good. I mean, I've not
You
ate
lost
junk
weight
food.
because you've been sick.
I lost weight. I'm lean as fuck now, dude. I'm weak as shit, you
Right?
know. But hey, speaking of that, you know
What
what's
was
been
that?
great though?
What was that?
And I know you've been on my ass but you know, I've been sick, but you're like, you ain't investing in the podcast, you ain't shit.
I
Look
I
how I'm
never
kicking
said
you
it
out.
that way.
I'm
I
writing you
hate
a
text
memo.
messages because you can't tell like the person's emotion. Because it'll be confusing the fuck out of me whenever I'm texting Paige and shit,
Yeah.
and I'll be like, "Are you mad?" And she's like, "Why would I be mad?" I was like, "I don't know. This message just seems like you're
Yeah.
mad."
Yeah. It's hard to, yeah. And that's why they say text messaging. It's better to have conversations over the phone because
Yeah,
anything could be, um, misread.
yeah.
But nah, dude, like, since I did get social media off my phone personally,
Mhm,
it's on there for like obviously business purposes, but every time that I would choose to like where I normally would scroll to like look at reels, and I like looking at like fitness stuff, and you send me all this crazy shit anyway, so that's the shit I look at. And I was reading instead, and so I finished Marcus Aurelius meditation,
mhm,
and I'm reading another book, and I'm like, I notice my reading is faster. So I've been reading so much that it is like a constant thing where now I'm able to kind of run through books relatively quickly or pages.
mhm.
So hell yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So
So
how long
that's
have you
been
been on this winter arc?
so it started October 1st.
Okay. So you're 6 days in now.
Yeah. So
Mm.
but the main thing is I gotta, eat right and that sort of thing. And so
So,
that's about it.
so you failed already because you ate Popeyes.
Well, hey. Well, no. Okay, hold on now. Wait, when was Sunday?
Is this like
Was
a pass fail type of fucking thing,
Wait
or
a
is
minute.
it just
Hold
like
on. No, it's just something. Wait, what'd you say?
is this like a pass fail type of thing, or are you just going with the flow?
Um, I'm just kind of going with it. Technically I didn't fail, first of all,
Mm-hmm.
because Sunday was the 29th.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
started October. It started Tuesday,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm pretty good. So
What do you mean by pretty good? You
I'm pretty
just
good. I
failed.
mean,
You're
yeah.
supposed
So
to be
what? I'm
eating
not
healthy,
tracking
and
my
you
diet.
just fucking, you
I
just
lost
fucking.
weight, motherfucker. I'm reading.
Yeah, because
I'm
you
doing
ate.
something.
This is God saying you're fucking up on your winter arc thing. You deserve to be
Hold
sick.
on, hold on. Maybe I needed a good jump start. Jump start. And here's the thing: I'm a lot leaner now, so like this would be
That
a good
wasn't a
before and
jump start.
after. You know what I mean?
You already started the program. Why would that be a jump start?
Hey, it helped me stay intact. I didn't have any like unnecessary carbohydrates and shit like that. I'm weak as fuck, but that doesn't mean anything. So yeah. So what's been
God.
going on with you?
No, bro, just fucking chilling, enjoying the day. My team got a soccer game tomorrow, which I'm pretty excited about. So
That's dope. You
it
know what's
is.
frustrating as fuck?
What's that?
FIFA 25.
The
I download
game?
that shit on Xbox. Hell yeah, dude. And I'm like, how in the fuck these motherfuckers play that? I'm trying to play it because I was just bored. I've been sick
Right.
and trying to do different things. And yeah, it was just I'm like I just the concept of different things. I thought about you. I was like, he can't give me no goddamn advice. But yeah, I was playing
I
that.
didn't even know
And
you downloaded it. What do you mean?
yeah, well, I mean, I was a bit like, hey, like, what the fuck? I guess there's different. Do they do plays? Have you ever played the game?
No, not 25.
Okay, well, anyway, so yeah, that's my whole soccer thing. I was telling Maddie about that. I was like, we should see if you should give Alice some tips.
Bro, you know what's crazy is that college coaches for soccer, at least, get paid six figures.
Really?
Yeah, I was looking that up in
College coaches?
college coaches, especially Division One coaches, get paid six figures. Now, obviously, your
Wow.
reputation has to follow you and stuff, so that way you
Yeah.
can teach the teams to be successful. But still, like,
That's a good living.
where,
I
where do I
heard
sign up?
even some principals, like from schools, make good money.
I don't know. You know that I didn't even look. I don't even. I don't know. I don't care. I don't care about principals. Why would I care about principals? You know,
Yeah.
man, my
Yo,
life living hell.
So there's been a lot of shit going on with
There's been
the hurricanes, ain't it?
brother. There's a tropical storm called Milton in the Gulf of Mexico right now.
Yeah.
There is another storm, Hurricane Kirk, in Atlantic. The California just had a 4.0 earthquake, I believe, a couple days ago. Dude, there's been a lot of shit that's happening.
Like, and when we talked about this last week, that you thought about doing stuff in, like, what is it, the National Guard? Because
It was in the Coast Guard. That right before I entered the Army, I was thinking about going Coast Guard because I always wanted to be like a PJ, like a rescue
Oh.
person that had to do with natural disasters and stuff like that. But like I said, like I told you last episode, I kind of veered away from it because everybody told me that Coast Guard's not really a military. So I was like, yeah, then all right, I'll go Army.
Yeah.
So,
I thought about that because I heard you can, like, do the reserves and you can get like
Mhm.
the benefits, and like, okay, so one of Maddie's friends, her husband was in the
Mhm.
National Guard, and he was able to get the housing. You know, they give you like credits for,
Housing
like,
allowance.
yeah. And so it was just like the benefits. He's like, oh yeah, I'm just reserved essentially, and that I don't have to, I'm not really out. Like, he gets called for whatever season or whatever, for some training, certifications, and putting his time in. And
You know,
so
is it bad that I feel like National Guard shouldn't be like active duty Army? Like they shouldn't get this exact same benefits as this.
I get that. I
Like
mean,
weekend
I
warriors.
personally would probably, yeah, I can see where you're coming from on that.
Yeah, it kind of upsets me because the uniforms are the same. So
Mhm.
whenever you go into a public area,
Oh, people think,
people think they're Army and stuff. Well, technically, they I guess they are, right?
yeah.
But let's just put them like purple uniform.
Give him a little pink bow.
Yeah,
shit.
you know, what I'm saying? Make sure everybody knows you're just National Guard.
Yeah.
Now there is active duty National Guard, which is pretty
Okay.
impressive.
When
But
would they ever? So educate me and the audience for some who don't know. So for if you know,
mhm.
for the National Guard, like, do they ever go into combat situations, like,
Oh
unless
yeah,
it's like civil unrest and stuff like that, calling in the National Guard for, like,
no, the National Guard does deploy to like Afghanistan and stuff like that.
oh, okay,
Now, will they go into an actual combat area? Sometimes, yes, especially when active duty is overwhelmed with a lot of stuff. Like they will send
gotcha.
National Guard, but National Guard is mainly just like statewide and whatever happens
Mhm.
here with riots and shit like that, they'll call them for that. Now, if fucking active duty came into the streets of fucking United States, there's gonna be a lot of chaos. Because the only thing that we know how to do is fucking go in and we fucking destroy the enemy and we get the fuck out.
Yeah.
So,
Have you ever heard we were talking about Walmart, and then I got one more thing to talk about as far as like conspiracy type stuff.
mhm.
Have you ever heard of all the Walmarts having like tunnels under them, and like they put up so many different Walmarts so they like connect? I can't tell you where I heard this from, but they say Walmart, so the WAL backwards is law, and it's martial law. So there was like I think I heard it was like a video or like an article, and somebody was saying that they were walking through Walmart and they heard a lot of banging in the basement. And
Mhm.
that kind of fed the theory that they're doing like all this construction. There's like secret like passages or entrances to like these locations that then you could go from location to location. Like they've built these tunnels, and that when it came to if there was like a civil unrest and the government could then kind of pull soldiers that are coming through Walmart, it's like a hub, that sort of thing. Have you ever heard of
Oh,
that?
it's kind of like a headquarters or
Yeah, something like that. And they said they, oh, you don't think it's odd that so many Walmarts are popping up left and right, that sort of thing?
I've never heard of that. I mean, I can see it
Really?
happening. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so that's
Walmart's
what they
such
say.
a
Walmart, it would
yeah,
be martial law, but it's just
I can
yeah.
see that. I mean, if we went into like a huge like natural disaster or if there's like constant riots and stuff, that's the first thing I'm hitting up is Walmart.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I can see it happening. So if there was tunnels and stuff, oh, I'm utilizing it all.
Dude, so, like, there's a guy that I work with, he's like, what do they call them? Doomsday preppers,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
he bought himself a house, but he said he's gonna build a house, and he wants to have a bunker, and
Mm-hmm.
he was telling all the other people that work with him, us, he's like, "Man, I'll bring you on if you can make yourself useful." Like, bringing him some resources and shit like that. I'm like, "Well, first of all, let me see your plans first. I'm not gonna
Right.
invest in you," and it's like, "This is your bunker? You bought a shed from fucking from Home
Bro,
Depot, dude. This is your bunker?"
it's
You know?
$248, of course. Bro, you know what's funny is like right before I left the army and stuff, I didn't say I wanted to be a doomsday prepper or anything, but I did want to
Mhm.
like build some type of fortress or something just for the fucking hell of it,
Yeah.
you
They
know?
say some
Like,
celebrities have them. That they spent millions of just
oh yeah.
these I'm talking about multiple level, like, underground bunkers.
Have you seen there's an actual company that makes underground bunkers
Yeah.
that like have this like crazy fucking like bank door that they put on and stuff. Like it's crazy how they build this stuff. But yeah, dude, if I was to do it, I'm
Okay, let me ask you a question. We're
okay.
talking about natural disasters. How
Yeah.
do you feel about and they're saying that we have a lot more natural disasters than we have in the past. A lot of
Hmm.
people would argue maybe climate change or
Hmm.
cloud seeding. They talk about that the government controls the weather by cloud seeding and all these
Hmm.
different things. I think I even seen a video on X of somebody saying, "Oh, look, they're distributing clouds," and it looked like clouds coming out of like this building, and it was
Right.
going into the sky, whatever. Being underground, what if you have like crazy like earthquake? Would you ever be concerned about that?
No.
You think
Uh,
that you think they're that stable that like it would withstand any type of like shift?
I mean, that's a good question because, I mean, especially here in Missouri, we're in between that. What is that fucking what is it called? The Platonic plates or whatever.
Oh, I have no
So
fucking idea.
we've like we'll get some big fucking earthquakes here, even though it hasn't happened,
Mm,
you know. But
yeah,
we're in that area where we can just fucking fall through the goddamn earth. You know what I'm saying? Not
yeah,
necessarily it's gonna happen or anything,
yeah,
but no,
dude.
I don't think I'll fucking be afraid of that. I feel like it'll be a lot safer to be underground than be on top.
Mm-hmm,
You
yeah.
know?
Would
What do
now
you
would you
think?
what you would be off the grid completely, but how would
Oh
you
yeah.
do that with like, what if you needed internet? Obviously, you can be tracked through satellite.
No, there's
Now,
no way. There's no way that you'll be able to utilize any type of internet or any type of cell service, especially
okay,
if you don't want to be caught, seen,
right,
or
right,
even known where you're at. Yeah, you're not utilizing any of that. The most I probably even utilize is probably FM radios, um, CB radios, and stuff like
mhm,
that need like some type of wave to communicate and stuff. But
yeah.
even
Now,
that, I'll probably like limit.
now, wouldn't you even think that it would be a tall tale sign? Like, I'm sure they can track like electrical current. So, like, if you had electric running
Mhm.
down in your bunker, you think they could figure that out? Like, oh, there's a power source or there's something drawing power from this point, and it's going here, but there's nobody here, and then they start investigating.
Well, you just got to be smart about how you draw power and stuff, right? You want to. All right, so whenever you're like, all right, so go back into my infantry days and stuff. So whenever you're setting up an ORP, like an objective rally point, right,
Mm,
and you want to bed down and stuff. So whenever you're setting up your hooch, so you're basically where you're gonna sleep and stuff, you want to uh, draw like some type of um like brush and sticks and stuff from an
mhm.
area that's nowhere near you. So you got to be at least
Oh,
500 meters away and stuff. So that
damn.
way, if somebody does walk through and stuff and they do see all the brush missing and all the sticks broken and stuff like that, at least they can't pinpoint exactly where you're going to be, you
Yeah.
know?
I've
I
seen
mean, it's
those.
going to be the same thing for electricity and stuff. So if you're going to draw electricity out and it has to be on top of the ground and stuff, you're going to have to bury the wires, and then you're going to
Mhm.
have to make it to where once you bury it and once you start covering up those wires and stuff, they can't look like that's
Tampered
been
with.
tampered with.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
ground has to. Yeah, I get it.
So I
Um,
mean, it's kind of something like you got to think about and stuff. Like
right, right.
so.
What rifles are you keeping? If you had to have like at least your go tos, like for
Well,
protection.
rifles.
Yeah, or like rifles, handguns, any type of firearm. I know
So
you're a firearm guy.
yeah, so I'm a very simple type of firearm guy, right? So obviously in the army and stuff, I've always dealt with 5.56.
Mhm.
So AR-15 is always going to be my go to primary weapon.
Yeah,
My secondary is going to be some type of pistol. Now, I don't like having different types of calibers
yeah,
just because if
I get that.
shit does hit the fan, I can just pick up a gun and I know every magazine within that area has 5.56 or 9 mil or fucking 223 or whatever the case is, right? So
Right.
that way I don't have to fumble around and just like accidentally put a fucking 7.62 into my 5.56 and then all of a sudden my gun blows up in my
Yeah.
face.
Are you gonna have a long distance rifle, or are you gonna go like more discreet, like a crossbow for hunting? Or unless you're gonna have MREs like food, you know?
So a little bit of both. A little bit of both. Like I have a
Okay.
bow. I have a bow and I also have my rifle, I have my pistol. And like that's like I said, that's the most I'll ever have. I mean, I have a shotgun also. But I feel
Yeah.
like a shotgun's more towards like home defense.
Yeah.
And I'll always look at a shotgun as home defense unless I'm gonna go fucking kill some birds and shit. But other than that, I'm not looking at a shotgun for war
Yeah.
unless I'm breaching.
Yeah. I agree with that. I agree with that. For me, yeah, I think I'd probably be the same thing.
Yeah.
I want to get a
What's your go-to? What's your go-to? Pistol or rifle?
mm, I'm probably gonna go rifle, suppressed
Rifle.
though. But here's the thing. But now, in your opinion,
Mhm.
having a rifle versus having a pistol, you have more movability. You know what I mean? And you can maneuver. Like, do you think does it matter that much based on, having your pistol and then being able to draw and then obviously come back versus having like a lengthy rifle in order to like go around corners and different things like that? Do you think it makes that much of a difference? You know?
Not necessarily. I
Okay.
don't think so. I mean, and then also it's situation dependent. So especially whenever you have a rifle and stuff like in the army, the barrel itself is only 16 inches,
Mm,
22 inches, I believe, is altogether from stock to tip of barrel. So like I said, as long as you're training with the weapons that you do have and stuff, so that way you understand the mechanics of it, the cycle and functions, the
yeah.
way how long the weapon is and stuff, so that way you know exactly how like if you have to bump in, if you so that way you don't have to bump into things and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. All right. I got one
so
more thing I want to talk to you about, and then we'll get into the topic.
all right.
All right. So we talked about Disney movies, right? And
Hmm.
they seen Inside Out 2.
Mhm.
which I guess it's a cool movie. I guess I didn't stay awake in order to really know what it's about, but it's about emotions with kids and people,
Right.
right?
Right. Yeah.
So anyway, so this on Friday we threw on the live action Pinocchio, right? And out of all the Disney movies, I actually kind of liked it. Now they did go a different way. They
Mhm.
made it kind of like a little different. And what I mean by different is, so in Pinocchio, the original, I guess they get swallowed by a whale.
Right.
In the
Yeah.
live action, they get swallowed by like this whale type, like octopus type monster and shit like that.
Mhm.
So they kind of went, a little bit out there. But anyway, it talks about Pinocchio clearly, and he goes to school. They kick his ass out because he's not a real boy. So you got these two other motherfuckers trying to sell him to this kind of like this entertainer, says he's a fucking puppet with no strings. And
Okay.
so he goes to this guy. He makes this guy a shit ton of money, but he escapes and he tries to get back home to Geppetto. And anyway, his conscience, which is Jiminy Cricket, is always trying to kind of keep him in the right path. So
Mhm.
he gets abducted, kind of. He was staying on a corner trying to get home, and there was like this carriage that pretty much takes kids that want to get away from their parents. So the kids would sneak out of their house and go to the corner of the block.
Mhm.
And if you stand on that corner at a certain time, this carriage comes and they say, "All right, get in. We're gonna go to this place called Paradise Island."
Mhm.
And Pinocchio was on that corner, but he wasn't on the corner to get picked up by them. He was just passing through to get home. Well, of course, they thought he was on the corner. He was just trying to walk across the street. They pick him up. So they go to this place called Paradise Island where there's no parents. They could do whatever the fuck they want, right?
Mhm.
And the kids start having a good time. They start drinking this root beer and they start turning into donkeys. And this guy who's taking them to this island is selling these children. They're turning them into
Mhm.
donkeys, and he's selling those donkeys to, I guess, farmers or whoever the fuck for labor.
Mhm.
And I started thinking, I'm like, man, this sounds like some Diddy shit. You get some Epstein Diddy shit. Like you have these kids that they take to an island. It's called Paradise Island, where they had a lot of sexual intercourse with a lot of underage kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the main
Yeah.
person could be Epstein, is now selling these kids to these, big buyers and different things like that.
Right.
And I'm like, this sounds like some shit. Like it just seems very, very similar to what we kind of go through in life. It's kind of like, and give or take, people, even The Simpsons, like they have like the kind of they predict the future type thing, but it's kind of
Yeah.
very similar to what we living in. So that's one of my observations. I was like, oh, this sounds kind of like real life right now. So
Yeah.
yeah.
What's crazy is that even whenever they first came out with Pinocchio and stuff, like that was the theme, right? Like they were just
Mhm.
like like hidden messages of how like they abduct the kids and stuff, and then all of a sudden they like
Right.
take them somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Dumbo, he gets like drunk or high or something like that, and then like
Yeah.
it's compared to now.
Right.
But
Right.
they show significance. Like, come on, an island where they abduct kids essentially, but the kids do it in their like own free will. They think they're getting away from their parents, and then
Hmm.
at the end of it, Pinocchio's with this other dude, and he's like, "Where's all the kids at?" And they end up start turning into donkeys, and they abduct them, and they have like these like almost like these demons that come collect them and shit.
Right.
So I thought it was interesting. But anyway, I had to share that with you. I thought it was kind of wild.
No, I think it's wild too, especially it's since it's like family movies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like them trying to like tell us, hey, this is what's happening, and I'm in trouble and stuff, and here you need to protect yourself. So here's this movie that I'm trying to tell
Right.
you, like, hey, save yourself.
Right. Right. Which
So
you know what? I don't care for a lot of Disney movies. Not for
mhm,
any particular reason, but I just don't. They did really good with the CGI. Tom Hanks is in that movie. He plays
mhm,
Geppetto. And it was just ironic because I think they were naming names and he may have
mhm,
been one of the names. Not factual, not that I know of, but it was one of those things was like, oh, they named this name. Even with this whole Diddy case, like they're
right,
naming a lot of people. But
right, yeah, yeah, yeah.
anyway, the
No,
topic.
the topic, yeah, fucking. baiting, baiting. I have what you want. So,
Hmm.
like the family movies that we were just talking about in Pinocchio and stuff, it just emphasizes the power of control and influences through patience and strategy, right?
Yeah.
Especially whenever I don't want to keep bringing it up, but Pinocchio and stuff, like
No, for
you
real.
know, it sounds like it's a perfect
Yeah,
like perfect.
exactly. Yeah, they.
So I mean, and the core idea of it is just like making other people chase you instead of putting yourself in a position where you're constantly chasing people, right? You want
Yeah.
others to pursue their opportunities, their outcomes and stuff, and it's what you have, right? You want,
Hmm.
and it's not necessarily like something that you can manipulate somebody to do, because if you have it, then why not utilize it? You know, it's a
Yeah.
win-win situation.
You think? Yeah. You think it's the difference between having now in Pinocchio's situation. It the kids left because they wanted to get away from their parents. They wanted no rules.
Right.
So that was their weakness, was that they wanted freedom in a way.
Hmm.
You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Even though they weren't ready for it.
Yeah.
But it- using strategy of that, yeah, I am something that is a necessity, or that people almost like being addicted to drugs. It's like you give them that first one, and they always going to come back. And it's
Hmm.
like, I have what you need, in a way of like, you're going to do what you need to do to get what you want.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and so
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's crazy now. It's now. Let me ask you something. So whenever you're in, your workplace and stuff, or even like here and stuff, like, are you are you thinking of ways, especially in your workplace, to make your life easier, whether you have to utilize somebody else's strength? Like, do you try to bait them, quote unquote, to help you in whatever you do?
Um, me personally, probably I don't think so. I think, and I guess it depends on the person. Um,
Hmm.
if it's like, if you needed to use, and would this relate kind of to what we talked about last time, kind of using other people's, well, I guess you could say that, where you're using someone else's accomplishments
Right.
to your advantage. But in this one, baiting somebody, that to getting them to do something for your benefit. um I can't say that I do,
Hmm.
because I think in my line of work, it's everybody has to kind of pull their own weight, and maybe in a different career path, that may be something that you could use as a tactic to kind
Yeah.
of getting people in just the right position,
Right.
to do that. So yeah, in my line of work, I don't think so. You know.
Okay. So you think baiting is more of like a positive thing, like a positive strategy, other more than negative strategy?
I guess it depends on your what kind of personal gain that you're willing to get for it, and then
Mhm.
what does it do to the other person, or to the person, the other party?
Right.
Like, I'm baiting them to do this, which you can even look at this as, if we are looking at more negative, you could bait someone into doing something wrong, just so you can come in and possibly, benefit from. I need someone to, I don't know, to rob this person, but I need to
Mhm.
manipulate them, thinking that they have to do it, or like you're going to be, doing this. So they rob somebody, and then you end up, let's say, taking from them, but they're the person that's put themselves out there as the wrongdoer. And now
Mhm.
you could kind of manipulate them in that way, if that makes any sense.
No,
So
yeah, yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like kind of really, yeah, setting them up. If they don't end up in a good position, then sure, that's more negative.
Right, right.
But
So
yeah,
it's just dependent on if you have a villain mindset, right?
yeah,
Okay. Okay,
yeah.
yeah, no, definitely.
Or,
Definitely.
or
I
like
mean,
just, and I think it's also reading people. I think
mhm.
it's choosing the right people. If you, not saying that you are weaker or
Mhm.
weak minded, but I think they're generally going to go after people that have maybe they're more driven by um, instant gratification. So you can say like, "Oh, I know this person wants this thing really bad that they're not going to go through the steps of getting it the proper way. That they're willing to rush through something just to get it." So you can bait even like an animal, like you bait them for food. Like we've
Right.
been trying to coyote hunt around property, and um obviously we're thinking about baiting because that coyote is going to go for food. It is a
Mm-hmm.
weakness for them, essentially. It's something that they
Mm-hmm.
want, it's something that they essentially need. And then it's easy for them too. So you put something that is desirable or that's a necessity on a platter. mm, some people may be cautious and say, wait a minute, this doesn't seem right. But that
Mm-hmm.
animal instinct is like, I don't care, it's on a platter, it's right there for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
you going for that is now your demise because you're not looking at the big picture. Maybe you're not very aware of your surroundings, or you're not aware of just the like the warning signs that comes with
Mm-hmm.
just living life and just kind of watching things. So yeah, that could be very detrimental. But it's like you have
Right.
to know the person. Like, this person is very weak minded. This person is very like, he goes or she goes for the things that are easy, and I could use that to my advantage,
Mm.
you
It's
know?
interesting. It's interesting you say that. Like now, like, especially with all the laws that we've been like listening to and reading and stuff, like it seems like you always have to be a certain mindset, or you have to have a certain foundation to actually apply all of this that we've been learning, right?
Yeah.
Especially like with this law, it was the law 8.
Mhm.
And it just like bounces back and forth from all the manipulation that you have to do to be successful within even just life in itself.
Yeah.
But I don't know, for this to even work, you like you said, you have to go for somebody that can't see the obvious.
True. And then you can look at it in like a positive mindset. I mean, sometimes you have to bait people in like business. And by
Right.
baiting, maybe it's marketing.
Hmm.
Like yeah, sales are down, so I got everyone in this email list. I'm going to start sending them like, different newsletters of like a product that's possibly coming out. So you get their interest. So you start to bait them into maybe wanting this. Maybe there's a new tech coming out, and then it's your job to sell it. So you have to like put it in their view to give
Hmm.
them like almost like a taste for blood, a taste to buy, a taste for whatever. So it's
Hmm.
like you have to bait to, and then that they start to want it. Then
Hmm.
you start, maybe I'm gonna put out a video and now I'm showing this product that I'm trying to sell and how cool it looks. I've already sent them the newsletters and everything. Now they're looking, they're reading it, and they see you have it. So maybe now they start to want it. So now it's becoming a want. And then now they're willing to spend money. There are people, if you, like you said, you want it that bad, you're willing to sacrifice wages, time, whatever. Like, you want it that bad, even drugs, they're highly addictive. You want it that bad that you're willing to do whatever, destroy relationships, um, lose your job, or whatever the case may be. Everything you own, you'll sell just to have it. I mean, it's a desire, and
Right.
so it can be dangerers.
Now,
And
what is something that you can get baited with?
me, don't send me
Yeah.
no gun shit online, because I'm probably gonna buy the motherfucker, especially if it's a really good deal. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Right.
So like, so yeah. I mean, here's the thing for me. I mean, even like this project like we're doing, and just advancement.
Hmm.
I am one thing you could probably bait me is like if it's something that is gonna be like self-propelling, or something that's like self-improvement. So
Hmm.
like maybe working with somebody that is like, "Oh yeah, like you do this with me, and then like we will potentially move you into like you'll be a different person." Like maybe um just join my team, or whatever the case may be, and I may see the value, but for me it'll have to be something that it's going to be self-improvement,
Hmm.
or like that. So like that's what I kind of lean towards. And so um as far as other things, nah, you know, well, what about
Nah,
you?
I don't know. They, I thought about it for a while, and I can't really think of anything now. What if it? I guess the only thing I was thinking about is like, if you can show me how to elevate my life, as in
Mhm.
like show me how to make more money
Yeah. Well,
with a
that's a good
proven
point.
track record. You know what I'm saying?
That's a
Then
good point.
then yeah, I can utilize that.
Isn't that like a pyramid schemes? That's how they get a lot of people. It's like,
Eh,
man, look, I made X amount of dollars, man. I just made all this, you
right?
know, join
Give
my
me
ship.
$1,000 and I'll show you how to
Yeah,
make five.
exactly. You know what I mean? And so, like, I mean, even for people that are like big investors, like they're
Mhm.
like, they want their money to grow, so they're always looking
Right.
for something to invest in. So, like, this one person may say, "Yo, this is gonna take off," and it's you just tell them dollars like in the next few years you'll be a multimillionaire or like you'll be way richer than you are now, and they're
Mhm.
like, "Fuck it, let's do it." Like, they
Right.
just get that thing, you know what I mean? They just get that like their palm starts itching. So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
No, yeah, definitely, definitely. I feel like this law itself is so like life related that everybody needs to utilize it. And if you're
Mhm.
not utilizing it, then you're slowing yourself down.
I
You
think
know,
there is a form of baiting in some form or fashion. Like
because you got to think about it. Even whenever you're looking for a relationship and stuff, right? Whenever you're looking for that significant other, you're looking at what they can bring to the table instead
Mhm.
of instead of them like holding you down and stuff because they're beautiful or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, what can that person possibly do that will
Yeah.
help me in the future? You
Yeah.
know,
Well, I'm
I
sure
mean, I guess
people.
that's how I look at it, at
Yeah,
least.
I'm sure people. Yeah, I mean that's a good example right there. Like a girl or guy put themselves out there to be one way
Hmm.
in reality, just to get the date or just to get the connection, and in reality they're not. But then you get so invested in a relationship that it's like, damn, they're already sucked in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
So,
No, it's yeah, it's crazy. So how long do you think, especially utilizing this strategy, you would need to fucking like how long of a duration do you need for you to get what you want? You
you,
utilizing this strategy.
you got to be a good seller, and okay, you got to be able to know how to talk for one.
Hmm.
If you can't talk in a way, like you have to be smooth with your words. You need to know how to communicate with people in order to bait them in general. You
Hmm.
also need to be able to sell. And again, that's about your words and your charisma.
Right.
Um, and so I don't think anybody can just bait somebody, because if you don't if you don't look the part, people are going to question. You know,
Right.
it's like a pop up. It's like, I'm not going to trust this pop up. Like, look at the artwork on it. The site doesn't look reputable. Like, you have to almost make yourself seem having a good reputation. You know,
Hmm.
so you have to have the image for one, communication. Two, you have to have something that they want, so a product or a reason for them to do it. Clearly,
Hmm.
and so you have to have something to sell. And so if you can't do those things correctly, then it's really not going to go well for you. I mean, the best place that you would probably get would be with people that don't have the know or the knowledge, or maybe easy manipulated, you know. And the thing is, what happens if you start baiting people for the wrong things? How does that change relationships for you? You know,
Hmm.
and because that can go south too, you know.
Hmm.
You bait, and then someone does. What if someone picks up? Because let's say you either oversell it, and or you kind of undersell it. Now they start questioning you. So I think you have to have that exterior that is going to
Yeah.
be like bulletproof. You know,
Right.
I don't think anybody can just do it.
No, no, yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, it like it reinforces like all like somebody's desires,
Hmm.
and then it kind of makes you look like a high value entity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
if that makes sense.
yeah. No, I get it. And like we talked about, it's kind of like an everyday thing, but we don't say it the way we're talking about it, like baiting.
Hmm.
We no one really describes it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like we talked about, like just like in the business thing, like technically you're baiting for sales, like you have to.
Right.
And,
Right.
and
Yeah.
so, yeah, you can look at it in both ways, and people can use it for malintent. People can use it just for obviously other purposes. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't particularly make you a bad person, you know. And so,
Right. No. Yeah. I agree with that. I agree with that. But I don't know. I feel like if Nelson was in here, you have like a completely different like side to this.
he's always a difficult one,
He's
even though
a devil advocate. Even though I was playing the devil's advocate last episode.
I know you were something else. You were something else.
Now, okay? So with this law, do you think you have to learn how to manipulate somebody, or do you just think like because you have a certain because this person has a certain desire and you know you can fulfill that desire, you'll be
Mhm.
okay?
Yeah, you kind of have to have, again, charisma. You have to,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you have to be able to know how to use your words, you know. And so,
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's the main thing, because
Right.
me and you could be totally different. We could be baiting someone for the same thing. Again, let's say we're baiting someone to buy a product. If you
Mm-hmm.
can sell that product better than I can, you're mostly going to get essentially what you want, and versus me that may not. And that could be you just communicate better. That could be, but I think it's all communication. I think we even talked about before, like even huge leaders or people who have huge influence. It's about how they talk to people. It's about how to make them feel a certain way. It's all emotion, really. And then
Mm-hmm.
you could essentially make people want whatever you want them to want. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And so, and that's all, like, again, that's also your image too. Like you talked about your reputation, your track record, I mean, even pyramid schemes, like the person selling you, like they're in, as they're advertising to you, they are in a nice car. They have a nice home. You see them in a
Mm-hmm.
nice, suit or dress or whatever the case may be. Like they're selling themselves to you. And that's the
Mm-hmm.
first point is you have to make yourself trustworthy to be baited. You have to gain trust first, you know.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah,
That's
that's
crazy. So Nelson just actually put is baiting for manipulation or for gain in the chat. So
both, I think.
I feel like it's more. I don't. I can't, I'm gonna play a little bit of devil's advocate because I don't believe you necessarily need to have any type of manipulation whenever it comes to this strategy. Just because
Mhm.
if for instance Nelson needed something to elevate his career or his
Yeah.
you know just to elevate something within his life and stuff, and I had that, I don't necessarily need to say anything for him to be like, all right, I'm gonna have to go with this guy because then if I don't, I'm gonna stay within the same general level
Mhm.
until I find somebody else, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, I think you can bait okay, baiting, you can bait somebody and instantly we talk, you're selling something.
mhm,
Okay, so you have to kind of also make them and connect with them in a way of like, this is something you would want. But
mhm,
when it's someone that you know that they want something, it's easy just to play on just what they want. So you may not even have to really manipulate them
right,
because they want that thing so bad, and they know that they have to go through you, and then you can kind of play that. So it's like almost like a form of weakness or intrigue. So reading Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, it even talks about, not having, don't be so connected or not having so much of a draw to things, because you tend to lose like the true value of nature or just life in general, because now you're run by this one thing. So
mhm,
it kind of talks about not having those things that kind of hold you to where someone could use you in a way, for that. But yeah,
mhm,
if you know that they want something, they'll do whatever they want to get it. You just
right,
play the cards for them. You know what I mean? You're the one dealing the cards. It's like, you'll get it, but you're going to do this first, and I'm going to win on that too. So it's
Mm,
like always like being the dealer, always trying to win on everybody. You know what I mean?
right. Yeah, yeah. No,
So
yeah, I get that. So what advice would you give someone who struggles with with patience required to apply this law effectively?
yeah, you got to be patient because like we talked about,
Mhm.
if you rush into it, you oversell it. Nah, now you look like a wolf in sheep's clothing, and now you look
Mm,
very conniving. So
mhm.
yeah, and that could ruin your reputation of possibly even having anyone trust you to
Mhm.
bait if you are planning on continuing to bait or even just having a relationship in general. So
Right.
yeah, you have to have patience, and the best thing to do is to study people. If this is something that you're going to do, you have to be able to read people, read what they read what makes them tick, read what makes, them act different. So you have to just understand, and that's just building relationships and being around enough people and talking to people enough that you know this type of person. You could have somebody that you're working with, even as a mentor, that you can say is like, yeah, I've been around the block. This person's going to struggle in this because I can see that they're more focused on the outcome versus focusing on what it takes to get that outcome. People want to rush through, like, I want to be a millionaire. Okay, this is the steps to becoming a millionaire. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And
Yep. Yep.
they're so focused on just the outcome that they're not putting all the effort into what makes you get that outcome. So like, but then you can also start to judge people like, okay, it's gonna take more time to work with this person versus this person. And so you're gonna need to just study people and learn how to
Mhm.
maneuver your way through networking and being social. Like you have to, unless you're going to be someone who can just send certain things virtually, which a lot of people do, and a lot of people get, baited through that way. But you're going to have to build that reputation. But that means, I think, communicating with people and being out there with people to read.
Right. So okay, so let's look at it in the other side then.
Hmm.
What if you're being baited?
Okay.
So how would that look? How would you have to do? What would you have to do to be two steps like what Nelson just put on you, two steps ahead and but still getting what you want? If you're the one being baited, how would that look if you have to be two steps ahead?
And so I'm being baited,
Yeah.
being two steps ahead of the person baiting me.
Yeah.
I guess I wouldn't be, because they already know that they know that I clearly want something. They clearly are making something attractive to me to get me to do whatever the case may be.
Mhm.
Whether it's me do something to screw myself up to make them look better, or putting myself in a position for them to gain on just having, like we talked about, having like the pyramid schemes. You want to sign so many people up, you're baiting them to sign up and sign up other people just so you're elevated. So you need their body there. So it could be just placing somebody there. You just
Mhm.
need them there. If I'm being baited, clearly there is something that I want that bad that
Mhm.
I'm gonna follow through. Now it would be me being rational about, oh, this something doesn't seem right. But that's kind of hard, because if things look traditional, like, and you want them to think that they're not losing anything, like it's a fair, it's a fair trade. Like, I'm gonna gain wealth, but
Mhm.
so I'm giving them a shit ton of money for this exchange of service. I don't feel like I'm being a sucker, because I feel like I'm getting something from it. I think it comes later down the road where you're like, man, I just wasted all this money and got nothing for it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
it's kind of hard being the person being baited, unless there's some really tall tale signs or you can kind of see it. Um, but again, they have something that I want, and I'm willing to, you know, do whatever to get it.
So what would you do if that bait
Hmm.
doesn't live up to its expectations?
Well, then you learn from that. Um, you can clearly, you're going to be now. It's like going through trauma. It's a life lesson, not trauma, but it can be life lesson. So you're probably not going to trust a whole lot of people then, because like, I kind of did this, it didn't really work out. But then again, if you want something that bad, you're like, well, maybe this just wasn't the right method. Maybe there's somebody else out there that I'm going to go and try to do business with, or I'm going to try to do something else with. It was just, this wasn't the right time or the right person.
Right.
So you can have something that is like clearly not right, but then you have people that are just so in want of something that it doesn't really matter.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
If
I
that
mean,
makes any sense.
no, it does make sense because I'm thinking about it in a social media aspect. There's so many influencers now that I feel like their method of luring people in is baiting. Right? They
Mhm.
have what you want. You want to either make your body better or look more attractive,
Yeah,
or you're gonna build more wealth if you come join this
those are the big
seminar or some
things.
shit.
They're,
You know what
they're
I'm
like
saying?
they're the heartstrings. You
Right.
see somebody there, and again, like especially on social media, I heard on a podcast that like some influencers would rent out, like let's say it's a supercar like a Ferrari, Lamborghini. They would
Mm-hmm.
all go in on that one vehicle and then put them in their posts,
Mm-hmm.
and they're trying to all sell somebody something, saying that they have I built this wealth doing this. Buy join my seminar, or buy my ebook, or do this or whatever, or join my class. You know, so you have all these people that can easily bait. I mean, that's the whole thing. It's about, yeah, I want to have more money and I want to look better. I want to feel good about myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, those are the main things to get. It's through emotion. It's through self. It could be self improvement, but also a self gratification. You know.
Yeah. No, I understand that. And I mean, Nelson hits it right in the head. An individual being baited isn't always a fool. Sometimes you have to play dumb to see the true light in people, which,
Yeah, I guess it depends on what you're willing to sacrifice. Wouldn't you
right.
say? Like,
I mean, whenever it comes down to it, I mean, there's a lot that you have to sacrifice, right? It's going to have to
Mhm.
sacrifice your reputation. Sometimes you're going to have to sacrifice some type of funds. Now, to me, if you have to sacrifice funds, I don't think it's truly worth it, right?
Yeah,
Because if you do, if somebody is trying to mentor you or trying to teach you in some type of way that their value of their word making you more successful, that means that their their system truly plays a huge part in people's life, right?
mhm.
So, and that's what I'm saying. Like it just, I don't think paying for what you think you need is what you need.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
so watching for hidden costs and stuff, and then you got to really identify the hook,
Mhm.
understanding people's motivation. Like I said, social media is such a huge bait in itself that every one of us, including myself, like we want those type of lifestyles that these people
Yeah,
basically presume that they have and
yeah,
stuff, and I'm
and
like,
there's nothing
damn,
wrong with that. I mean,
it's
there's nothing wrong with
right.
advancement. It's just, again, people are they're in sheep clothing. They're like, "Okay,
Hmm.
how much money can I make off a sucker?" And
Hmm.
then even though and I wonder how many people have, like, their plans aren't even as cut, like, really well, so they have, like, holes in, like, even, like, their plans or their strategies, and they still make money. Because
Yeah.
they know that person, regardless of what I'm offering, they want that
Hmm.
so bad, that potential, just the potential of getting that they're willing to spend whatever. Oh, it's or nowadays we live in the world of monthly subscriptions. Oh,
Hmm.
it's only $50 and I'm gonna make this amount. Like, I'm gonna gain knowledge, or it's only $10. Even like if you think about like even these gyms like Planet Fitness, so many people have a membership and it's so cheap that it's like, whatever. And it's
Hmm.
like, but they still keep doing it because there's that potential that I may go to the gym. But
Right.
it's
Yeah.
crazy to know that like there's somebody out there that has like the probably one of the worst plans out there and is selling it and is making
Yeah.
a shit ton of money. You
Yeah.
know, it's only
Yeah.
when like you have people with that band against you that says, no, this person screwed me over. And then you start having this rapport of negative stars, and then you
Hmm.
start losing that. And then when you I think when you get to that point, now you're kind of screwed because now you're the face of this
Yeah, you're way
product.
too invested now.
Yep,
Yeah,
and it's
no,
hard to come back from that because no one's now going to trust you. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So,
yeah, yeah. Now, do you think baiting has a huge emotional response?
uh, yeah, I think so. I think it's all emotion. I think
It's
it,
all
it
emotion.
I think it's all emotion on both parts. You know, um, and so I wonder if it was like someone who was, and even the person that's baiting for like to be conniving,
Hmm.
or baiting someone that is your enemy, and you're like, I know he or I know she is so money hungry that I can set up even like the whole beeper thing from Israel
Mm-mm.
blowing up fucking
Yeah,
Hezbollah. They
yeah,
baited them because they know that they wanted to use beepers instead of technology so they can get over on Israel. So they
right.
baited them, started a company, became trustworthy, sold actual beepers, and then got the contract. And then they used their own tactic against them in a
Hmm.
way.
Hmm.
And so that's a prime example right there. And then now they got hit hard because of
Hmm.
and so that, yeah, I think it's using it against your enemy. You know that they're weak and you use their weaknesses, and then you can gain a lot, which for Israel they got rid of a lot of or dismantled a big terrorist group. So
Yeah. No, that's true. That's crazy though.
yeah.
You know
You
how much planning that had to be for you
since
to
2022
since 20.
2022.
Oh, that's what it said.
Yep. Yep. And then,
It's
like
got
I
to
said,
be
they
longer than
sold
that.
actual beepers, and then the ones that they sold to Hezbollah, and it wasn't just beepers; it was walkie-talkies too.
Hmm.
They switched once the beepers started blowing up, then they switched to the walkie-talkies. Same shit. Kaboom. PETN was an explosive that they
So
used.
was it targeted for a specific group, or is it just the general public? Whoever buys it, you're dead.
No, it was specifically for Hezbollah and
Okay.
Iran's proxies, I guess. Again, because they wanted to not be, they didn't want to use tech like iPhones and other
Right.
devices because it's traceable,
I feel
right, and
like I feel like
trackable.
I feel like pages are really easy to track. It's such
Really?
an old technology.
Yeah. Yep.
That's like saying, "Oh, I'd rather use an iPhone 1 than an iPhone 15
Mhm.
because they won't track me."
I was
Mm.
listening to Joe Rogan, and he interviewed the guy who was talking about Diddy. How am I forgetting his name? Cat Williams. And he was talking about like that the government having, if your car has a computer, they can control that computer,
Mhm.
and then they can obviously track it. And then they're talking about like in the future, like if let's say a cop pulls you over, you got a newer vehicle, that they can have your vehicle, or the theory was that your vehicle will then just drive straight to police station, and
Mhm.
they can control it. So yeah, anything nowadays technology. I mean, with a beeper, I mean, and yes, granted they put an explosive in it. So there was a big thing where people were like, "Oh, they they downloaded malware onto the beeper, causing the batteries to get hot and to
Mhm.
explode." That's not how it went down. They actually put in this explosive. So there's that. But when you're
Mhm.
talking about more advanced things, yeah, a computer or anything, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So Nelson just put on the chat. How can an individual identify someone who can be potentially baiting from your experience? Well, you got to identify the hook. The first step is recognizing the bait itself.
mhm,
You got to understand the motivation. Um, the person doing the baiting usually has a goal, right?
yeah.
And that goal is potentially what you have, whether it's physical or emotional.
Mhm.
Then you gotta really consider the consequences from before actually taking the bait, right? I think what people don't understand is what bait is technically. So it's like anything that you desire is considered bait, whether it's to
Mhm.
elevate your life, like what Drew said earlier into the show and stuff. And then and then like going on with the rules and stuff, and like how to actually identify baiting and stuff. You got to evaluate your emotional response, like we were talking about and stuff, whether it's an excitement, fear, greed, or an insecurity and stuff. When you feel a strong emotional purpose, you know, from what is being pushed upon you, like it's just a lot of things that um your emotions can really persuade you to do, you know, like
Yeah.
it's I don't know, emotions is crazy. I fucking hate
So
emotions.
Marcus Aurelius in Meditations, he said that a man who has anger
Hmm.
is seen with more respect and can be seen as someone who can be forgiven compared to someone or a man with lust. So a
Hmm.
man with lust, it's all gratification and you're driven by a desire versus anger is mostly it comes stems from like having some type of emotion, whether it's
Hmm.
sadness, he says. And so versus someone who has this lust, it's like that lust can take you anywhere. And anger could too, but he looks at anger above even someone who's lustful
Right.
because not just sexual level, but I lust after expensive things. I lust after having the latest and greatest thing where like I'd rather not pay a bill and get this new technology or whatever the
Hmm.
case may be. I'd rather put rims on my car than actually like pay the car note, which is funny
Hmm.
because Maddie was showing me a clip of a dude that goes repoing. I guess he's got an Instagram and he repos motherfuckers like in these crazy like areas and shit or these crazy situations. So this motherfucker was like detailing his car, one of those you self wash and you self detail.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm thinking like, you're spending this money on detailing a car and you didn't even fucking pay the note. Like I would be like cautious. I'd be like, I know they're after my ass. I'd be looking all around and shit,
Right.
but it's the same thing. It's like, having that lust or having that like that gratification that you're seeking
Right. Yeah.
can be very dangerous.
Yeah.
Can be very
So yeah,
dangerous.
telling
So,
you, dude, emotions play a huge part in especially in this law and stuff, right? Then obviously you got to check for manipulation. You know,
mhm,
betting involves a lot of manipulation tactics, especially a car salesman. You
yeah,
know, they're good at embracing what you want
yeah.
compared to what you need.
It's reading the people, man.
It's reading the
It's like
people.
all like having a young. There was another dude on Instagram. He he was he's a car salesman and he talks about the different characters he plays when he can kind of like judge the person coming looking to buy a vehicle. Like if
Hmm.
it's a single dude and he's like, yeah, I'm looking for this type of car, whether it's more of a sporty car, he'll change his demeanor or the
Yeah.
way he talks, how he approaches, versus a woman possibly looking for maybe a family car. And then so it just kind of shows like just you have to adapt to that person so you can sell. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's kind of like Kamala Harris, what she does with the people out there as she campaigns. But
She
anyway,
she puts on different faces.
yeah, it's fucking insane. But yeah, you got to study the people. I mean, you have to.
Yep.
I mean, you have to like uh, people. Yeah, it looks conniving, but in a way, it's like people they do it. I mean, they adapt. And they have
Yeah.
to. If their job is to sell, they have to sell no matter what.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true.
So,
A few more rules that you should consider is watch for the hidden costs, especially in social media, right? We were just talking about it. Social media plays a huge part in people's lives now. That you're scrolling through Instagram or TikTok and stuff, and then you start seeing these videos of like, damn, I wish I was taking a vacation right now, or I wish I had that Lamborghini and stuff. You just gotta watch out for those hidden costs and stuff. You know,
mhm.
especially people that are trying to like show you how to day trade essentially,
Mhm.
and they're always looking for like a like, oh, here, if you fucking follow me and give me $100 and
Mhm.
put me, follow my Discord, then I can teach you how to day trade, right?
Mhm.
Well, obviously that's always going to be misleading. So
Yeah.
another thing you have to look for is the object maintain the object, right? It's easy
Yeah.
to lose the objectivity when being baited, especially when they offer something extremely appealing. Sometimes you
You
just
gotta
gotta
have
step
street
back.
smarts.
You
You have to
really
be,
have to.
yeah. So we talked about
y- No,
do
yeah.
you continue that pattern or do you start to learn? And then I can see people who get baited are people that would have no experience. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Versus someone who does grow up, having more like street smarts. Maybe
Right.
their upbringing
Yeah.
was different. Like I've been around scammers, so I know what to look out for when it comes to someone scamming me. Versus
Hmm.
someone who's more like in an environment where like everyone was generally good, and then their whole view on the world is like everybody is moderately okay, and then
Right.
they get bit the first time, and they be
Right.
like, oh, maybe that was just that one person. They get bit again, and then
Right.
after a while they'll eventually learn, hopefully. But yeah, you gotta have to have street smarts. You can't just trust everybody, but that just comes with wisdom or having
Hmm.
good mentors that you're around.
Hmm.
Says look for this. Someone tells you this, then just keep an eye out. Pinocchio, he talks about he was going to school and Jiminy Cricket was talking to him and he goes, if someone says they're trustworthy and they have to tell you that they're trustworthy, then most likely they may not be. Or I'm an honest guy, they may not be honest. And
Hmm.
Jiminy was trying to tell that to Pinocchio, and he's like, "Oh, I kind of understand." And so, but it's the truth. You kind of have to kind of read that. I mean, so
Right. No, I mean you got to recognize the patterns. You
mhm,
know,
yeah,
every baiter, it seems like they use the same pattern.
yeah.
They flash whatever you want in front of you, and then all of a sudden they kind of lure you in like bait itself, like a fish, and then they hit you with some type of fund or something.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm paying so much of my goddamn gym membership. They're like, "Oh, Andrew, you need this. You need this extra package. You got the spa. You got this.
Right?
You got the sauna." No one damn well I ain't gonna use that shit, but they got me because they tried to
What
give
was
me
it?
that they were gonna give me.
What's that thing on the side where they give you like massage chairs
Yeah, it's a
and
fucking massager. No one goddamn well I ain't gonna use it.
bro,
And
I did it. I swear to God.
you did it.
Yeah, I was
Was
doing
it
it.
amazing?
So
Was it
whenever I
working?
went to Club Fit, it is amazing. I think it's as close as it's gonna get to like somebody who is actually physically massaging you and stuff.
Really?
Because you're in this like egg type fucking massage chair, right? And it's just like literally squeezing you in. And so then like, the arms or whatever the fuck, the little things that are massaging you, like they push even deeper into it. So I mean,
Oh,
so it's great, especially if you want a deep tissue massage. It's fucking amazing.
no shit. This is at
And
Club Fitness.
this is at Club Fitness. Yeah, and I know
Hmm.
over here, like it's like the Club Fitness is not really that big,
Yeah.
so I don't know how yours
Hmm.
is. Apparently, in Lake St. Louis, they have like the headquarters, quote unquote.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, but
Maybe I'll try it. Maybe I won't be a sucker. And now I'm just
but
paying this extra money
but
for no
like the
reason.
next rule, avoid acting on impulse.
Ooh,
Avoid acting on impulse, and then knowing when to
kind
walk
of the
away.
same. Yeah, it ties kind of into this, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
it would be that person who's being baited. It's like, damn, like, this is too good to be true, or like this is I really need it. Like, and here's the thing: could they wait? Do you need it right now, or is there another pathway to it? You know what I mean?
hmm,
Like, if I continue this pathway, which is maybe the longer road, but I'm going to gain more from it, or maybe it's going to come at the right time versus something that it's like right now, it's
hmm.
more of a risk. You'll get it now, but there's more that you're paying for it later, you know? So
Yeah,
it's when
yeah. No,
that's a good topic.
that is a good topic.
That's a good
You
topic.
you know
That's a
what's funny
long
is that
one.
I'm a very impatient person. So whenever I see like something like, for instance, my house in Colorado and stuff, I saw it. I saw it the same day I bought it.
Get
I
the
swear to God, I
They
was
weren't even
literally
putting up the
scrolling.
shit for sale yet. You kick open the
No,
door,
they
like,
did it.
yeah,
They
y'all
did
better
it.
get out. This is my house now.
Swear to God, they didn't even put up the for sale sign yet. I saw it and I was like, I want it.
No
What do you?
way.
I swear to God, same day. Saying as soon as it went on the market, I'm already calling the real estate agent. I was like, hey man, I want this house.
Wow.
And they're like, we just put it up today. I was like, all right, cool.
So you should
Like,
have some good input on this one then.
they're all like, "Do you want to come see it?" I was like, "Yeah, whenever I buy it." But I mean,
Right.
luckily, I didn't make a mistake and stuff. I saw the potential into the house and stuff. It
Yeah.
was in a beautiful neighborhood and stuff. That it was like a growing neighborhood. So I saw the potential insights into it, and then like I was looking at its future, like its future designs, especially within the neighborhood and stuff, and how well it's gonna grow. And I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna pull the trigger.
Yeah. So you had
Obviously,
so you kind of worked your own strategy too. So
yeah,
like there's more there's more that goes into it,
yeah,
in how you kind of go about things and on your impulses or whatever.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, but I'm very impatient whenever it comes to stuff like that. So I could probably get baited, but again, I still do my research before I even do anything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Yep.
no.
Well, dude, I
So
think it was
what's one thing? What's one thing? That was my story. What was one thing that you've been baited on?
um you know what? So a long time ago, I was baited on one of those it was one of those real estate courses thing,
Hmm.
and I went to a seminar and I actually brought my sister with me, and it was in St. Louis. And every time you go to a seminar, you have to invest money. Like,
Right.
okay, in
Yep.
order to get to the next step, we need $3,000. And I just got out of high school. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Real estate was something that I've always wanted to do, and if I would have had the funds, easily would have been something I would have been baited in. And then
Hmm.
I actually read forums later down the road about this one individual, and people were like, "Man, it's a scam." Like one person went through 4 steps just to get to where they're actually teaching you shit, and they
Yeah,
spent an ungodly amount of money, and it's like you got nothing for it. And so that would have been something I would have definitely been baited on. But
I believe
like
it,
like you
dude.
said, it's a growth thing. Like I saw myself being better than I was and having
Hmm.
more financial freedom, that it was way appealing. On top
Hmm.
of, guy had the Lamborghini, he had the yellow Lamborghini, he had all these things, and it's like, oh yeah, this is something. So yeah, that would
So what?
definitely
Okay,
be.
so if it was to happen again and stuff, and like say Robert Greene was like, "Hey, I'm doing a seminar um on real estate.
Mhm.
Would you join it?"
I'm just gonna have the money next time, motherfucker. That's it. I'm going for it. I'm just gonna have the money next
Nelson
time.
said he got baited into the army. Shit, I did too, buddy. I did too. I fucking did too, motherfuckers. They said they can give me a Camaro and still haven't got it.
Well, it's coming. It's
It's coming.
coming.
It's in the mail.
It's a model Camaro. I mean, it didn't say you could drive them. Oh, you could drive it with like a remote, but yeah. Jeez, you read the fine
No,
print. God damn it.
god damn. Dude, it sucks. It sucks. I do the army as a bait. God damn. They do
God
all
damn it.
this fucking cool guy shit in the commercials and stuff. Man, whenever I first joined the army, like
I'm
when
coming after
especially
your
being the infantry and stuff,
Yeah.
my first initial thought, I'm like, damn, I'm about to be a fucking badass. I'm about to learn how to kill people. I'm about to learn how to fucking do hand to hand combat. I'm about to do all these fucking knife tricks and shit and pull it out of nowhere and just fucking and just kill somebody. And
Might be lethal.
I knew how to. They taught me how to push a broom.
Damn. Well, it's like, it's like the old like Karate Kid shit, right? It's like, there's more when you push this broom, you're learning something,
Right?
you
It's
know.
something. It's something. But
But
nah, yeah, it was such a bait.
oh yeah.
Would I
It
do it
was a good
again?
topic. I like this. It
Yeah, it
was
was.
dope.
It
It was
was. No,
dope.
definitely. So what's the next episode on?
I'm gonna let you close this.
Are you gonna let me close it?
You closing.
I'm closing.
You close it.
Unbelievable. I gotta do everything around here. All right. So obviously we just talked about baiting, right? I'll have what you want. It's a great topic, a great conversation that we just had and stuff, and we gotta really like step back and understand all the factors that come into baiting, whether you're doing it for advancement or you're doing it to manipulate somebody. Obviously there's going to be consequences between both sides and stuff, but it's an extremely effective strategy whenever it comes to anything, especially in this life and stuff, right? So obviously remember to step back and actually watch for those hidden costs or for the manipulation if you are being baited and stuff. So thanks for joining us. Our next
Yeah.
episode will actually be demonstrating authority. So I
All
think
right.
everybody's gonna need to learn or at least talk about that, you know. So
Put it in the comments. Let's see what you think, and we
put it in the
can,
comments, yeah.
because we're all. This is all an experience for all of us. It's like we're learning too, and then it's good to kind of hear from other people. So we
Yeah.
appreciate it. Don't forget to follow, like, tell people about the podcast and what you liked about it, what we could work on. But this is an open dialogue for guys talking about real stuff and real things that we're kind of making it through and things we can teach each other. So to the
Yeah.
legacy, we didn't do the
To the like,
toast.
oh, we didn't do the toast. Unbelievable. And you opened,
Unreal.
so I don't want to fucking hear it.
That's right. It is on me.
You know what? It's coming out of your check.
Till next time. See
Till
you guys
next time.
later.